video got so many views.
Yeah.
Mama's hand.
I'm waiting for my kids, my little children.
Oh, they're coming.
How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. We were proud of that one. That was a really good one.
I found you. Have a look.
To make a difference in Parliament. The British people do not stand for genocide. We will not let our tax money be used for bloodshed in the Middle East. Enough is enough.
I gave up protesting in the 1970s because what we've got to support is non-violent resistance. We don't all have to go to jail, but if 1% of these people did and the other 99% didn't go home feeling guilty, but actually did some practical support, like fed the cat, dealt with the hysterical parents, etc., then we'd still have a vibrant movement, you know, because 1.5 million people marched in the city against the Iraq war. So many wars, so little time. And the only anti-war prisoner I'm aware of in England at the moment is Julian Assange. He's never mentioned at what the Americans call cattle drives through empty streets. And these things, when people see children being incinerated on television, as the Israelis are doing in Gaza right now, they feel stressed. And these things kind of relieve the stress. So I don't know if they're counterproductive really, but we need to be building a movement based on non-violence, based on resistance and based on solidarity. And that's why I've been living outside Belmarsh prison for 6 months until the cops levelled my camp on Christmas. Yeah, no room at the inn for any anti-war sentiment. And the Royal Borough of Greenwich Labor Party Council, that's the Labor Party that led us to two military defeats in Iraq and Afghanistan. And Iraq had an 8-year war with Iran, and they couldn't beat them until the Americans turned up. And it seems to me that Iran is running Iraq now, and they couldn't beat a bunch of Afghan hillbillies in 20 years. But the people who make money out of war, they don't care if they win, lose or draw, as long as they have war, which makes them money. And the reasons why young men like Ben Griffin, my godson, who's in the SAS, fight wars is completely different to why wars are fought. And the Pope, who's bright, is a Jesuit. It takes 12 years to become a Jesuit. He thinks World War III has already started. And what preceded World War II was a proxy war in Spain called the Spanish Civil War, but Hitler was in there, Stalin was in there, Mussolini was in there. And we've had boots on the ground, American and Russian in Syria, in the Ukraine. So I don't know if this generation is ready for World War III, either to participate in it or to resist it. Because like the rock musical Tommy, they're blind, deaf and dumb, and they can't even play pinball. They're blind because they've got phones in their face constantly and their head up their ass. And they're deaf because they've got ear pods in their ears constantly. And they're dumb because they can't give you accurate street directions, and they're freaked out when a stranger encounters them. Their real life is online. And that's the basis of fascism, self-liquidation. So they're surrendering all their privacy, their sexuality, even their crimes, to the internet. And the guy who could have led a techie generation in the right direction is now in jail in Belmarsh, you know. And I'm not techie. I'm a dyslexic technophobe, and I don't know how I end up being bodyguard for this techie genius.
That's why it's hard to track.